Hi everyone, welcome and thank you very much for joining me here on IPO Market Watch. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button if you want to, if you like the content, as I am trying to hit 70,000 subscribers. Right now I have 68,000 something, and that would really help me. So everyone, in this video I have a lot of things to talk about. The first one is President Donald Trump's, which I think you've heard, is pushing to shut down the Department of Education. Right? He would like to sign an executive order to shut down the Department of Education and ship that over to the state level, right, and have the state be in charge of that. We're also going to talk about the Iran and U.S. tensions, the letter that was revealed on Friday that President Donald Trump sent over to Iran. I'll give you my opinion on that, what will happen with that. And then the third one, we're also going to talk about really lightly about what happened in Turkey. And then stocks. We'll move on to stocks and an investment that I believe it's proven itself time and time again. Every single year it just proves that it goes higher and higher and higher. It's probably one of the best investments anyone could make. I think any solid portfolio that you would like to build should include it, right? So I'll cover that also. So the first topic, President Trump is set to sign an executive order to shut down the Department of Education.
We're coming on the air with breaking news tonight. NBC News has just learned that President Trump plans to sign an executive order closing down the Department of Education. The move fulfilling a campaign promise to shutter the agency, which has long been a target of conservatives. But it's unclear how he'll legally do that, since Congress needs to sign off on officially closing a department of this kind.
Technically, it's not so easy. It has to be voted on, and I think on the Republican side, correct me if I'm wrong, just from the Republicans, it can't be passed. They would need at least 7 Democrats to also vote in favor. Currently, on the federal level, as it is, the Department of Education is managing over $1.6 trillion. It's a $1.6 trillion student loan portfolio. The bright side of this is that some of this, if it were to be approved and move to the state level, some of this portfolio would be outsourced. It would be outsourced to private entities, to private companies. It would, right? You look at companies like SoFi, I think can benefit, right? So if this does go through, and President Donald Trump does get his way, some of these private companies who are specializing in loan servicing and management of student loans, such as SoFi, like I repeat, will benefit, in my opinion. The next thing I want to cover in this video is this. President Donald Trump, in a letter, tells Iran's supreme leader that his nation has a 2-month deadline to reach a new nuclear deal. Can they reach that? I think there will be no agreement, because there are a lot of players in this, and it's not just as simple as some people think. Oh, let's just make a deal and it's over with. No, there's a lot of players involved in this, right? Don't forget Israel. Israel wants Iran to have nothing to do with anything nuclear. Nothing. It's hard. I don't think there can be a deal, because on President Donald Trump's side, it probably is something like give it up. Right? Iran doesn't want to. So, it's a very complicated thing. I'm not even going to get into it. But my personal opinion is there probably will not be a deal. So if there's no deal, what happens? Well, President Trump has said that if there's no deal, there possibly could be a strike on the Iranian nuclear facilities. Whether there is something really negative that could occur or not, either way, this whole uncertainty, this is going to, in my opinion, now just, this is my opinion. I think that going forward and in this year, 2025, we're going to see oil stocks go slowly inching up a little bit higher and higher. If there is a strike on the nuclear facilities on Iran, they're going to explode. Oil prices are going to go up big time.
I'm not sure that everybody agrees with me, but we can make a deal that would be just as good as if you won militarily. I've written him a letter saying, I hope you're going to negotiate, because if we have to go in militarily, it's going to be a terrible thing for them.
As if that's not enough, let's go over to Turkey, which is boiling, and something happened yesterday. And that was that President Erdogan has put in jail his biggest political rival. That's very interesting. The Turkish stocks cratered yesterday, and their currency cratered. Everything went straight down. But at the end of the day, before I get to the stocks and the investment that I want to show you and prove to you something, is that we never stop investing, because if you invest in the right things, no matter what happens, you're gonna do well. As long as the stock market is open, and it always is, it never, doesn't close, you'll do well. So don't stop investing, because if you look from 1950 to 2025 right now, we've been through so many crazy things that, this year in 2025, what we're going through seems like really crazy. We've been through even worse. So there's a lot of things that have occurred. The Cuban Missile Crisis was huge. Come on, that was big. What happened? The stock market still went up. The Korean War, Vietnamese War. Real quick, just some examples. March 14, 2025, I told my Discord members that I'm thinking about investing in ticker symbol NIU. At that time, it was trading at $2.62. You can go back on March 14 and check it out. It was at $2.62. The stock on March 18 hit $4.05. Here's another example, which is actually very cool. 2022 was one of the worst times, which is a huge correction, way worse than what we're going right now in 2025, right? So I repeat, if you are a new investor, listen to me. I've been through this. I know what I'm talking about. 2022, which was much worse than what we are going through in 2025. The market went down way further than what you are seeing so far. In 2022, I called NatWest Group PLC a buy at $6.41. I still thought that even in that bear market, NatWest Group will do well. Today it's at $12.12. Markets go up over the long term. If you buy good companies, they go up. How about Redwire Corporation at 677? It is at 11.20 as of March 18 hit $11.20. How about ticker symbol LX? That was back in 2023 at $2.67. Check it out today on March 18. It hit $10.64. Okay, so enough. Let's go now and cover something that I think it is a good investment. It has proven itself for thousands of years, and that is gold, guys. So has the gold rally, the express rally, is it over with and all that stuff? No, it's not over. There's too many uncertainties going forward, and even possible, like I said, strike on Iran and Turkey going up in the air. With Turkey, here's another thing with Turkey that's very important. There could be a second coup attempt that might be successful in overthrowing Erdogan. The first one failed. Could you imagine Erdogan being overthrown? Gold has finally surpassed $3,000 per ounce, guys. That's insane. Who would have thought? Gold bulls pause for a breather after refreshing record high. Ghana's surging gold exports propel mining sector to expansion. And India gold market update, investment appetite upheld, and so on. There's a lot of appetite in India for gold. I think that VanEck Gold Miners ETF, ticker symbol GDX, is a really great investment. It's trading around 44, 45 bucks around there. I think it is a great investment in my opinion. Looking at the weaker US dollar, I think the dollar will continue to be at the level it is or weaken just a little bit more. That is because of the tariff uncertainty. That is because of nations that are looking to do business elsewhere because they feel that they are being bullied or punished or taxed, let's say, as the European Union said. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the tariffs. Do you live outside the US or do you live in the US? What do you think about the tariffs? Is it fair or not? So with all that being said, there's a lot of things going on and there's plenty more to come because politics is on fire globally. And if there's one thing, in my opinion, that can do well going forward, one is Occidental Petroleum. In my opinion, I've said this many times, time and time again, oil prices are going to go up. And the second is gold prices. If you want to join our Patreon/Discord to support this channel and also get access to over 3,000 traders and chat with everybody, see what everybody else is trading, ideas, use quant and AI tools that I offer in my Discord. There's 17 powerful tools that will make you a much better investor daily. I guarantee you they are really, really good tools. So if you want to join us, the link will be in the description of this video or at the bottom of your screen as you are already seeing. Make sure to also hit the subscribe button and I wish you all the best. Take care.